Alrighty. There we go. Sorry, guys. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I know I was supposed to come on and do this yesterday. I just needed like a relaxed day. Yesterday was the full moon. And I just kind of was soaking up the energy. Okay. So, like I said, today we're going to do the fire signs and take a look at what is coming in for June. Okay, so what deck am I going to be starting with today? Let's see. Spirit. Hey, gang, gang. Good morning. Going to be doing the fire signs today. Okay, we're going to take a look at what you guys got coming in for June. Hey, I'm a Poly girl. Hey, my loves. Come on in. What's the truth? So, this morning, like I said, I was supposed to come on yesterday, but honestly, like, it was the full moon. I needed to regenerate, okay? So, you know, I took the day to get my life together. But we're gonna take a look at what's going on for my fire signs for the month of June. Spirit, can you show me what's going on for fire, please? What's going on for fire? And we have crystal quartz focus. You know, it's funny because Earth and air had gotten that card. So everybody's trying to refine. Okay, refine. This is going to be for the fire signs. If you're looking for Virgos, it's already up on YouTube for the June reading for the earth signs, okay? So, yeah, this is for the fire signs. This focus, everybody's trying to refine, because let me tell you, with this Mercury retrograde that we went through, okay, and those eclipses, double Sagittarius with Aries moon, so this is definitely your reading. You know, there was a lot of revelations, and they may still be trickling in. Okay, so this is about refining the information. Okay, now you also have Moss in reverse. Okay, adaptability. Try not to be too rigid, fire signs, right now. Okay? I'm not saying compromise your beliefs, but try not to, because if you're too rigid, you're going to get thrown off your game. So I'm going to give you an example. When I was a child, I used to watch a lot of rodeos, okay? My stepfather, you know, used to participate in that, okay? And one of the things that he taught me when I was watching it is that when you see the guys come out bull riding, okay? They have to stay on there, I think it's 8 seconds, however long they got to stay up there, right? The guys that stay real stiff, they fall off immediately. They fall off immediately because the rigidity, okay, and the way that the velocity is going from this 2,000-pound bull or whatever, your body at 200 is not going to fight that, okay? Put that in terms of the universe. Okay? So the ones that get on top of the bull and they let their body like spaghetti, they're the ones that make it, because they're not trying to fight the universe. Okay, so Spirit is telling you for this part of this, because we're like in the void, in the transition of the two, you know, what you let go to what you're birthing. And in between, there's the, you know, newness, right? So it's like if you're rigid in the way you think, you're kind of like, you could be pushing against your own manifestation. You could be pushing against the blessing that Spirit is bringing in, especially with Jupiter stepping into Taurus in the North Node that just happened on the 1st, right? So you have here sage purification. This is about completing with all the information that came in, completing that, understanding that, shedding what you need to shed to prepare, to be flexible, to be the Knight of Wands. Okay? Thank you for the share, my love. Okay, so let's continue. Spirit, what else do you want the fire signs to know? Okay, you got cicada voice in reverse. Something in my heart, something in my heart. You've been trying to not have to give something voice, or you've been trying to, this feels like biting your tongue. This feels like biting your tongue. This may be like fire building, okay? So you feel like if you know how they say, if I get my lick back, right? Right? So there may be something that you came in to see during this Mercury retrograde, a realization about how something was not in the perspective that you thought it was, okay? Or that somebody or something is not what it was supposed to be. Okay, I feel like the other people or things in this situation have not made the same realization. I feel like there's a lot of projecting happening. I feel like maybe you shifted, or you let go of something, or you decided something firmly, like I don't want X, Y, or Z. And the response to that was a lot of like throwing up, like somebody just threw up all their projections and insecurities on you, like that's what you said, but that's not what you said. Okay? And because of that, you got butterfly in reverse. Okay? You give me butterflies, right? So it's like now something can't be reborn, or now something can't flourish, okay? Or now you see that something wasn't gonna flourish. Regardless, it's a realization. Cave, initiation, right? And that experience happened right on time, although you may not recognize it because it could have felt like a whirlwind of emotions, but it happened right on time because it was part of the initiation of the newness that's coming in. Okay, for the radiance, okay? It feels like there was a veil. This veil could have been a person, a place, or a thing. Thank you very much for the gifts, guys. If this is your first time watching me, sometimes I might miss a gift. It's not that I don't appreciate them, it's that I'm channeling, okay? So please don't be offended, okay? Thank you very much, okay? So with this diamond and radiance and the initiation, the veil, there was something that maybe you didn't recognize. It could have been very unexpected, or came from like the least place you expected. So let's just say, for instance, that you was trying to achieve something, or you've been trying to change your circle, right? Let's say you change your circle because you want things more positive, right? And you do all these changes, right? You do all these changes. The one constant maybe is a cousin, right? The cousin is the constant, right? And you come to find out, like after changing all these people, this person says, like, maybe they said 3 things. I'm getting the number 3. 3 things during the retrograde that, each, they could have been separate, right? They could have said 3 things that when the first one you heard it, you were like, right? Second thing was like, oh, is that confirmation, right? It feels like by the time it was over, you had a whole new thing. That the veil, or the thing that was dampening the radiance, was something you least expected. something closer, something harder to shed. Spirit. Oak tree, ancestors, right? So this, you know, it really could be a family member, right? But it also could be like somebody that you considered a root, right? Somebody closer, right? Wind, movement, but seasons change, people change, I sacrifice tomorrow, right? And there was growth. And this is the biting the tongue, right? Because it's like as if you say why you're shedding, movement came back out, right? If you say why you're shedding, it's an attack, right? Meanwhile, you can't, like, you're just supposed to hold it. And there was a decision because of something that you saw that you can't hold it. Okay? Oh, thank you, my love. You see, it's on point, right? So something happened that made it no longer feasible, no longer attainable, no longer, you know, practical, right? New friendship, right? This could have been somebody that, you know, you came into recently as well with it, abundance is near. Regardless, whatever it is, you could be fostering new people, okay, because you felt like your group was stagnant. Right? You could have felt like this was the blockage, right? That you've done all this purging. And then when you got to your inner circle, you thought you were good and you realized that there was people there that they still in that frequency, right? Vivid dreams. I feel like this vivid dreams is talking about something that maybe you saw. Like, remember, I said that there was some things that you know, you got like one confirmation and you got another confirmation, right? So I feel like one of them might have kind of like almost got by you. Like you heard it, the shit sat wrong with you, but you dismissed it, right? But I feel like you could have had a dream or a realization later, like, oh, bow. Oh, okay, I get it now. Oh, I get it. That's what they meant, or something like that. Like you get it's an epiphany. Yeah, you got union and heartbreak at the bottom, right? So this is about, it's very, very, yes, it's a realization, right? So it's very individual, right? Whatever you realized had just everything to do with just you and like what you wanted to be aligned with. Right? With the union and the heartbreak, it feels like it pains you. Okay, this realization, crossroads, right? Because you know that it's going to change some things, right? But there's goodness on the other side. The problem is that this other person cannot see your perspective. Because to see your perspective means that they have to accept something about their reality, which they are not capable of doing. Okay? Or at least that's what it feels like. Spirit. Anything else before we get into the reading? Self-worth. But it was, again, something you had to do because of something for yourself. Okay? So this could be friend, lover, family member, regardless. It could be even like, let's say it was a child. Let's say that, you know, you have adult children. Let's say you have one child who keeps getting into like legal situations, no matter how much support you give them, no matter how many times you help them out, no matter what you do, they don't seem to like they keep extracting, right? They keep dumping it at your door, right? This could have cost you your home. Like, let's say you put your home up as a collateral. Sorry, let me get this off my screen, right? And then they jump bail. Just an example, right? That could have been the thing that you're like, I'm not doing this shit no more, right? This child could be projecting like, oh, but you know, you will let anything happen to me. And they could be like 35. You understand? At some point, you have to say to yourself, like, hey, I'm not saying this to hurt you. I'm doing this or saying this to protect me. And that there's a difference. Okay? But I feel like you feel it's futile in some way to explain this shit, because the more you explain, the more this person feels like you are like doing something to them. But it's because that's how it does feel, right? Yeah, it's hard sometimes to stand in your personal truth, right? Because when you take off your rose-colored glasses, or you remove the veil, right? That also, you know, in turn makes people, because people, you have an illusion, or, you know, like you see things that may not be, you know, the way that it was. And this happens to everybody. And then when you have that realization and you start to see the situation for what it is, it also affects your change in frequency, affects how other people's view of that same situation is. And that could trigger somebody else, okay, feeling like they feel triggered, but it's because of a projection of their inability to see something, okay? So Spirit, can you show me what is the situation for my fire signs? 10 of Swords, right? You could have felt betrayed by something, or you know that somebody feels betrayed by you choosing yourself in some way. Spirit, can you show me the blockage? Yeah, the Knight of Swords. It was an argument. Spirit, can you show me at the, yeah, that's how spot on and happens. Yeah. And then the Three of Swords crossed at the heartbreak. I mean, at the foundation, right? So this is also talking about the heartbreaks that you have endured with that cicada throat chakra in reverse. How much you have coped with in this situation without saying your piece, because you was trying to be nice, right? Nice, but nice got you fucked up in some way. Right? Spirit, show me what's falling away. The Nine of Swords. But something happened, okay? Something happened where the sleepless nights and anxiety just caused a tipping point where you like, man, fuck it, 2 tears in a bucket. What did I say? Where you had to be the Knight of Wands and just go after something, remove some things, shed some things. You know, a lot of times we talk about the Knight of Wands being like fuckboy energy, coming in and out, right? But, you know, there's also the thing of like going after what you want without reservation, being spontaneous and going where you feel you know, is positive for you. Okay? Not feeling attached, willing to explore, right? And it feels like you felt like, you know what? I have to go where the love is, or I have to go where there is the, look, Six of Swords comes out for what's on top of you. This is you trying to get to calmer waters from a frequency that felt inhibiting. Okay, so Spirit, can you show me what's coming in? And I'll be clarifying these. Can you show me what's coming in? What's coming in is the Page of Pentacles crossed Okay, so this is like the forever student. Okay, this is why Spirit's telling you not to be too rigid in the near future. Okay, because the rigidity could help, it could make you miss an opportunity. Okay, we will clarify that. Spirit, can you show me also how does the fire sign see themselves, please? Yeah, you, oh Lord, I'm trapped, the devil, right? You feel persecuted in some way or trapped by circumstances. Spirit, can you show me how others see them? Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so they feel like you have what they want, or you have everything, or you're so fortunate, or something like that. Okay, we will clarify those too. Spirit, can you show me what is in the hopes and fears? So I feel like why you resisted standing firmly at first, or not voicing something with the Nine of Wands, is because you knew that some people wouldn't be well receiving of this. Okay, with the Ten of Cups, could be family members, or like I said, your inner circle. And the Death card. Okay, so it was like you feared your own transformation because you were not, it's like not feeling confident of how it would be received. Okay, I think the earth signs had something similar. Spirit, can you show me what is the most likely outcome? Okay, Queen of Swords crossed. Somebody here is very bitter about, and I feel like this is the person who can't hear. They can't hear what you're trying to say because it makes them, it triggers them about their situation. So even though you could be talking about yourself, it triggers them in you. Okay, true on how it feels and does happen often. Right. Okay, so let's look, Hangman at the bottom of the deck, and I feel like you felt stuck for some time, but this is also, this Hangman is talking about the new perspective that has started to, shape itself. Okay, with the Seven of Pentacles, it's an understanding why you haven't gotten to a level, why you haven't completed something. Okay, with the High Priestess here, you're definitely quiet about it as you've been processing this and how you can get the wheel to turn. Here you are as the King of Wands getting ready to take action. Okay, but the Hermit is also here, so you're doing it. It's like a spiritual need conversation that's happening between you and your higher self, that's making you go after some new direction. Okay, as you're going in this new direction, it's like you have to do it in silence, because what you saw, somebody else is not ready to hear. Okay, and the Five of Wands, it's going to cause conflict. Okay, so we're going to clarify. Okay, all right, so we have out here the Ten of Swords as the situation, right? So this is it feels like you don't see a third option, right? You could betray yourself and stay silent in a situation and absorb something that no longer feels good to you. Whatever that is. Doesn't feel like it's in alignment. Or you could speak your truth, but then somebody else feels betrayed. Right? And this is because this Gemini and Sagittarius is going to be where the North Node is going to be transiting. I think it's from July of this year. Is it in July? It might be July. If it's not in July, it's in November, okay? Where the North Node shifts, and the cycle, the concentration is going to be in that axis, okay? So this is going to bring about the fire signs being triggered by that Sagittarius eclipse. And this is going to cause you to have higher knowledge from the divine, okay? About the realities of some situations, okay? So, Ten of Swords, Spirit, why is this Ten of Swords here? Ten of Swords coming out with the Ten of Cups, okay? Because it's family. It's in what, either actual family or those that you consider family. It feels like you don't want to upset the apple cart, but there's no way around it. Knight of Pentacles, okay? It could be that somebody, didn't step up to their part, and you've tried for a very long time, but you feel gaslit, like they're not doing their part. Or you're recognizing that this person and their inability to recognize something about themselves as you have done the work on yourself is actually slowing down your ability to get where you're trying to go. Right? So let's say that you are, in a committed relationship and you've gone through a lot of spiritual enlightenment in the last 3 years, and this person has a addiction or something. I'm just using that as an example, right? And they refuse to like try to turn it around. They may not turn it around as fast as you, or they may not have all the enlightenment that you have had, but they're not putting the basic effort. Okay? So whatever it is, it's like either you're recognizing that they're the blockage, okay, or you're recognizing how something is treating you and it's not affecting you in a positive way. You have the Knight of Swords out here, Spirit. Why is this Knight of Swords out here for my fire signs? With the Hangman. So you had a realization first. I feel like this other person, they notice things, but they don't, their perception is like skewed. It feels like skewed by some type of trauma, addiction, something that they don't have a grasp or control over. I feel like when you try to share your individual truth, or you try to share how your perspective was, it was met with aggression, or it just was not well received. Spirit, why is this Three of Swords here at the foundation? Seven of Pentacles coming out cross. So there's been betrayals, heartbreaks, disappointments for quite some time. Something you could have been trying to heal, a friendship, a family situation, a relationship for quite some time. Okay, this also could be an old wound that you had individually, right? So like, let's say that you felt like, I keep getting in relationships that are very controlling and that don't want me to be my higher self, right? My dad was controlling, he was controlling with my mom, he was controlling with me. And now as an adult, I find myself in those relationships too. And then you have a realization that, you need your partner, for instance, I'm putting it in that situation. You need your partner to understand that you need a little more room, and you go to them and they belittle you for that. And then you start taking stock, okay, what's at the foundation, that you've been dealing with a heartbreak that you can't resolve in the present situation, because the Seven of Pentacles is here cross. They're not willing to put in the work, okay? And, sometimes we stay in a place trying to do the work for two parties. And that can show up in many different ways. Okay, so usually it's by taking on the burdens. Hey, Dee Dee. Okay? Usually it can be about taking on the burdens. Right? So let's say that you recognize that this person is not as spiritually adept as you. So you start trying to counterbalance that by, let's say, saying, well, I understand that this person doesn't understand the astrological thing. So, when they blew up on the full moon, it's because they don't understand that they were supposed to be shedding, and they threw up their emotions, right? So it's like you've been overcompensating in silence because of some knowledge that you have, some insight that you have. But at the same time, it could have got to the point where the compensating that you were doing was actually like shortchanging you. Okay, you got the Nine of Swords here and the energy that's about to fall away because that became a full-time responsibility. You're working on your own growth. And then, you know, and those of us in the spiritual community, hey babes, those of us in the spiritual community, there's something that we're aware of. We know that there will be people that fall away because they are not going to see the perspective that we see. It's like being on the milk or the meat of spirituality, right? When you're a baby, you're on the milk, and as you learn more, you get on the meat, right? So this realization with the Nine of Swords is you realizing that how you were coming to a growth level and you didn't want to leave this person behind. So subconsciously, right? Subconsciously, in the desire not to leave them behind, you were trying to do their work and your work. And that's not possible. So what ended up happening is that you were absorbing their anxiety to try to keep someday we'll be together, trying to avoid the inevitable. But when you do that, you conversely could be slowing their growth down too, because you don't know if spirit sent you to be the catalyst for this person to fucking open their eyes, right? And in the same time, you're limiting how you could go because the fear of having to release something that you wanted to come on the journey with you, that you know quite possibly may not make the journey. So another way that we betray ourselves is by throwing more effort into a situation that has shown us on several occasions, this Three of Swords coming out crossed, that some heartbreak is not resolvable, or that not resolvable at this time because the person can't see it, or that for you to give yourself the healing, you have to release something that could cause somebody else heartbreak, right? And to avoid doing that, you absorbed it, which hampers you. It stops you from going where you got to go. And maybe before the Mercury retrograde, you didn't see that. Okay, you would just head down, putting in the work in for you and this person. But something came, okay, and it feels like it came in the 3, okay, where you saw some things and you're like, oh, so I'm not helping. I'm actually slowing myself down. Nine of Swords, Spirit. Why is this Nine of Swords here? Can you show me? Did something flip? No. Okay. Nine of Swords is the Nine of Wands. So now, you know, when you were absorbing these energies for them, thank you guys for all the love. When you were absorbing the energy for this person wasn't like, hey babe, thanks so much, or hey fam, or, you know, friend, right? They weren't like, oh, I see, you know, how much you try to, like, you know, assist me. Nah, they're the Nine of Wands. They're still resistant anyway. It wasn't fucking helping you. It was like being the sacrificial lamb, and unappreciated at that. Right? Five of Wands only made you feel more resentful, okay? And then you weren't speaking up on it, so it's just building, right? And then the fire, right? Y'all are fire. So you know somebody gonna get burnt and it's gonna pop off. Right? Six of Swords, Spirit. Why? Why is this crowning them? Let me get one more. Thank you. So the Six of Swords is right now. It's you deciding, you know what? No matter what happens and no matter how it's received, I have to be the Knight of Wands. I have to go to calmer waters and go after the things that is for me. Okay, because you have, sorry, my nose itches. You have the Six of Cups coming out here cross. Because, you know, the Six of Cups talks about the past or reconciliation or like childhood friendships or whatever, right? There was no growth, right? And it's not to say that you will never see this person, speak to this person, or whatever the case may be. But you may recognize that you can't go to calmer waters with that present energy or that like it ain't yours to carry, babes. Okay, and sometimes we have to, you know, the truth is, right? Truth is, right? So sometimes our personal truths, they could hurt other people, and that might not be your intent. Okay? But it doesn't make your truth less true. Nine of Swords. So all this time you were worried about hurting somebody else. Seven of Swords. But they saw you wrangling in that pain. They saw what you were enduring. And they was, you know, okay with allowing you to make the sacrifice on their behalf or carry the extra weight. Eight of Wands, right, with the Tower. And once you communicated your truth, it was like, oh, how could you? How could you? Hierophant, right? The Pope of the Tarot. This is like the spiritual growth and faith and you trying to ascend. Right? And all these burdens. Ten of Wands. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to keep doing it, or you're going to make the Nine of Pentacles for yourself and give where you can with the Six of Pentacles. But, you know, I don't think you were seeing that this person wasn't fully willing to do the same for you. Okay? With the Nine of Cups, okay? They were happy. High Priestess, look at that shit with your silence because it kept the status quo. It kept something in alignment where they could keep the vision that they had. Okay? And then you could absorb the responsibility of something and it wouldn't have to be on their plate. Okay? This is for fire. All right. So you have here, this is what's coming in. Okay? Page of Pentacles crossed. Okay? And remember, Spirit said don't be too rigid. And if you missed the beginning of this reading for the fire signs, it's also on YouTube so that you could see it in its entirety. Okay, so you have here the Page of Pentacles coming out cross. Okay, remember Spirit was saying in the beginning, try not to be too rigid because things are still very fluid and in emotion, right? And then the Nine of Swords here. Okay, this is you kind of looking over your shoulder. Okay, because you feel displeased by them not seeing the truth or your truth or something like that. Okay, with the Emperor though, listen, a boss knows that he can't make everybody happy. A boss knows, okay, that sometimes there's going to be disgruntled customers or disgruntled employees, right? And he has to stand firm, okay? or she has to stand firm in what she knows or he knows will support the overall empire, right? Judgment, right? Somebody feels left out. The Lovers, but you needed to make a choice for the Eight of Pentacles to work on something. Now, somebody else may feel like they want to return with the Two of Cups. You also could be looking for something that's more in alignment with you. But the Queen of Swords, okay, and you have the Queen of Swords coming out here across. Somebody's angry. It could be a feminine, but somebody's in a catty energy because they don't want to see something about the situation. Okay, and you have the King of Swords here as well. Okay, so because you're standing in some fact and logic, or this is how you need to hold your position and let the chips fall where they may, as far as like, that's what Spirit means by not being too rigid, not expecting a particular outcome. Okay, just know what your truth is and allow that to be. Okay. Now I'm gonna do an extended for this where we're gonna look at the Devil and why you feel so caged by this, and the Ten of Pentacles, okay, and why people feel like you should carry all this weight for them, okay, and in your hopes and fears, okay, and this resistance, okay. And this Queen of Swords, this bitter person that you're making a final judgment on. But before we do that, we're going to get into the Kipper, because I want to see, actually, no, let's do what's in the shadows, because I would like to see what else is it that you can't see about this situation. Okay, and for you guys to get access to the extended, there's two ways to get access to the extended. You can join my Patreon, okay, and if you join the Patreon, you also, in addition to all the extended, you get a free question on the live free question night, or you can just cash out $5.55 and I will send you, but do write which extended you want, and I will email it to you, okay? This person lied to you because they told you that they were going to try something or something like that. I hope you're happy, right? I feel like you found out about them not making the effort that they said they would, or something to that effect. I feel like there was consequences for this. For instance, let's say you were dating somebody. This is going to sound crazy, but let's say you were dating somebody who had a drinking problem. And this person has had you call their job to make up shit why they can't go to work. Right? And you told them that you weren't going to deal with that shit anymore. And then they did it again. Except this time you didn't call. And they ended up getting fired. Would that be your fault? Or their fault? But when they say, I hope you're happy for me, they're projecting their anger for something that they felt that you should have been doing, cleaning up their mess, rather than them cleaning it up. Okay? I also feel like you wanted more people to see the positive change in you, but instead what they're seeing is what they can't get from you anymore. Thank you guys for the gifts. I'm sorry if I don't comment. Sometimes I'm just posting. I mean, I'm just channeling and I don't see them, but they're greatly appreciated, okay? I know I made a mistake. This person doesn't even want to admit, you know, their part, okay? I'm not coming back, okay? That's a 2-prong. Okay, because it's like, you know that you can't go back to playing that role that was no longer, you know, fitting you. But they can't come back because to do so, they have to admit something, and that shit is too hard, right? So now they feel like they don't know you. In reality, they don't know themselves. They can't see their part. And remember, I've been saying for like a couple months, you know, Saturn is now in Pisces going retrograde. People's like subconscious triggers are on full display. So this person is like, doesn't see it, okay? Okay, what did you want from me? Right? This person could feel like you've let them down. And in reality, it's the opposite. Okay, and I feel like it pained you very much to have to, you know, take this stand. I feel like you were almost willing and had been for quite some time dealing with something almost like a sacrificial lamb. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna head over to the extended, where we're gonna look at why you feel trapped by this situation, and you know, why they see you as the 10 of Cups, okay, and why they feel like they should be entitled to your blessings or something. Okay, so we're gonna be taking a look at that. Like I said, if you're interested in that, you can join the Patreon, and the link is in the bio. Or you can cash out $5.55 for the extended, and I will send it over to you, okay? So I'm wishing you all light and love, and blessings on blessings. Bye, guys. Bye, my loves. I'll be on the extended in like 10 minutes.